Dear viewers, in this video, as part of PMP exam preparation, we are discussing on Agile practice guide. So, in the last video, we discussed on lesson 5. Now, we are focusing on lesson 6 of Agile practice guide. This lesson actually about organizational considerations for project agility. If we want to make a agile approach, implement agile practices, then what are the organizational considerations? That is the focus of this video. So, for organizational considerations, actually, we know that there are many aspects actually impact within and outside the organizations. There are many features. So external, internal. In internal, there are organizational culture and other aspects. So this section explores the way the organization and in some circumstances, the project context also matters. How they influence the project. Leaders can explore options for changes or to increase the project successes. So to mobilize the resources based on the necessity, based on the context of the project, based on the time, place, manner, and other factors, they decide with change or without changes how can they achieve the value. So project agility is more effective and sustained as the organization adjusts to support it. So we have to adjust with the organizational environments. To understand it in simple way that you see in the slide that this is agile considerations, concept described in the agile practice guide, and this is change management, concept described in managing change in organizations, a practice guide. So if we combine both, we'll find some common grounds, and that's the focus of this lesson. So number one is organizational change management, how we can manage the change in organizations. First one is drivers for change management. What are the drivers for the change? So change is actually associated with the accelerated delivery. If we want to make delivery quick, rapid, we want to accelerate the delivery, then we need changes. And changes associated with the agile approaches. Agile means we have a change mindset. We embrace the change. So in each iteration, we actually accept the feedbacks. So change is our motto actually to please, to satisfy the stakeholders, to reach to the value. So first of all, we have to check whether we are ready for the change. So how you can check the readiness for change? Number one, you see executive management's willingness to change. The people who are the executive, are they ready? They have the willingness to change. Number two is organization's willingness to shift the way it views and reviews. Whatever it has views, they can reviews. And we can assess the employee's mindset. And we can check whether we have a centralized system or decentralized system. We can change in between this. And we can check the management functions, how the management is running, and whether we have short-term budgeting or long-term budgeting, and talent management maturity and capabilities, how many talents we have, how we can manage these talents. So if all these group actually positive, then we are ready for change. Number 6.1 is organizational change management. In this, we have readiness for change, but there are some issues we cannot give you to change. They will be coming as an obstacle. So what are these? If the departmental silos are there, if the procurement strategies are problematic, if the leaders are rewarded for local efficiencies, not the whole approach, If the employees are specialized contributors, not T-shaped, if the decentralized portfolios not focused on project at a time, the whole project at a time, in that case, actually, readiness for change doesn't work. So we have to focus on this issue to be successful with the change. So there are some approach to accelerate the process: visible and active executive sponsorship, change management practices, communication and coaching, progressively pacing the adaptation, and leading by example by using agile schemes, techniques, and practices. Number two is organizational culture. We should focus on organizational culture, what's actually going on inside the culture. And organizational culture is in its DNA, its core identity. So if the people who are driving the strategy are not passionate about the change, or worse, or are apathetic about their job or their organization, then you actually stand little chance of implementing the change. So you actually have to understand your organizational culture, and then you have to make a comfortable environment by addressing each of the issues within the culture. So creating an environment of safety, number one. You will make a safe environment where team can work, and you should assess your culture, what you have, what are the ingredients, what are the components that makes your culture. So you can see that whether you are focusing on exploration or execution, whether you are focusing on speed or stability, whether you are focusing on quantity of work or the quality of work. So in between these two dilemma, you should focus on where you are. And based on these and more other factors, actually you have to be flexible and predictable, and then the decision will be more robust. 6.3 is about procurement and contracts. Actually, the procurement and contracts should be more dynamic so that you can achieve your value. So, the customer collaboration over contract negotiation. This is our agile main manifesto, one of the four. One of the four is customer collaboration over contract negotiation. You have a contract, you have negotiation, but above all everything, you should focus on customer. You should collaborate with customer, what they need, what a stakeholder wants. So focus on shared risk reward relationship. So collaborate with them and shared risk reward relationship maintain. And you can make a multi-tiered structure, different aspect in different document. So different aspect in different document. So you can make a multi-tiered structure. You have different product, different deliverables. So different aspect in different document you can put. And you should emphasize value delivered. So value driven deliverables should be prepared. The team will work for a value driven deliverables, and fixed price increments, micro deliverables, fixed price increments. You make a fixed price increment by micro deliverables. So one delivery is given, you know the price, fixed price, then another one, then other one. So there will be fixed price increment with each deliverables, not to exceed time and materials. So you have the contract, you will not exceed time or materials, but within that team can work whatever they want. And another is graduated time and materials. So in this case, actually, if they can work better within less time, so you can reward them for early delivery. This is one option. And early cancellation option. If you keep early cancellation option, then contract becomes more flexible because you are working in each iteration with small micro deliverables. Even if you accept the early cancellation, there will not be much loss. But the contractors, the receiver, customers will be happy for that. So you should have a dynamic scope options so that team can work. Team augmentation like customer strategic discretion should be there, and favor full service suppliers. The team which supplies provide the full service, that's better. So these are the issues actually we can keep in procurement contracts if we consider the agile approach. And last, number 4 is business practices. What are the business practices? There should be transparency and open collaboration and absolute. These are the absolute key actually to be successful. A team delivers value on a regular basis and in a cohesive and cooperation manner. And these are the opportunities to review the degree to which existing practices support agile ways of working. So to have the agile ways of working, actually we should focus on value. We should have a cohesive and cooperative manner. And as organization progress to greater agility, there will be obvious need for additional business units to change the way they interact and perform their responsibilities. So for having the greater agility, they need additional business unit. In that case, the changes that have benefited other areas of the organization should be emphasized. And we should now be embraced so the effectiveness of the entire organization can be realized. Now 6.5, multi-team coordination and dependencies. Each team can depend on other. So there should be scaling. 6.5.1 is framework. So you can have different kinds of framework to address the dependencies, to address the scaling. It may be Scrum or extreme programming that focus on the activities of a single, small, usually co-located and cross-functional team. So a range of frameworks can be there like scaled agile framework, large scale Scrum, or disciplined agile, or Scrum of Scrums, many more. So what is frameworks works better? Find that one. And also consider if it is helpful to start small and learn as rapidly as possible. That's the agile approach. Small start and learn from it. Small delivery, learn from it and do again, improve it. And also consider the organizational context. And teams can achieve successful outcomes even when everything is not completely transformed into an agile approach. Number 6.6 is Agile and the Project Management Office, the role of PMO. What is the role of PMO? Project Management Office. PMO is an agile. PMO is agile when it's value driven. So an agile PMO is actually value driven. They focus on value. They run the team. They deploy the resources for value achieving. And agile PMO is invitation oriented. So they invite the new members. So they engage the employment in decision making, in implementation. They engage the employees. And Agile PMO is a multidisciplinary. He has the knowledge on developing and implementing standards, developing and personal through training and mentoring. Multi-project management he knows. He knows facilitating organizational learnings, managing stakeholders, motivating each one, mentoring each one. So in many ways, actually Agile PMO has multidisciplinary T-shaped knowledge. And what should be the organizational culture structure? You can see the geography, whether it's one location, different location. We can see the functional structure, how we are dividing the functions and making the teams. What is the size of the project? How we can allocate the people for each team? What will be the combination of the team members? And how we can procure for heavy procurement for the big organizations. So these are the issues actually we should consider before making the structure of the organization. And In that way, evolving the organizations. How an organization evolve. When addressing an individual challenge area or implementing a new hybrid or agile approach, it is recommended to undertake the work incrementally. So you are facing a challenge, you are going for a hybrid approach, you are going for a new approach, agile approach, you should undertake work incrementally, step by step, and treat the change process as an agile project with its own backlog of changes. So you see the change log, backlog of changes that could be introduced and prioritized by the team based on the perceived value of the on other considerations. So they can change it, and each of the changes can be treated as an experiment which is tested for a short period of time to determine suitability as is as if or the need for further refinement considerations. So you are going for change, so it's a testing or experimenting. You can refine it based on the experience in one iteration and use it for the improvement in the next iteration. And for this, you can use the Kanban board to track progress, showing the new approaches already in use as done, or those being tried as in progress, and those still waiting to be introduced as to do. So you can divide to do, in progress, done in different approaches in the Kanban board. So you will be in a track, you will be in a procedure, so you will not be lost. You can finish the task on time, on schedule, with delivering the value. So this is all for lesson 6. Thank you so much. This is the last chapter of Agile practice guide, but we have some more critical aspects on Agile practice. So in next 2 or 3 videos, we will discuss that with different diagrams and models. Thank you so much. Bye.